Good day, everyone. This is Kevin Alft, CEO of Action Coach of Texas. Today we've got Adam Alfia. Adam is a serial entrepreneur, and Adam's got businesses that are running on their own through a management team, and he's engaging his management team once a week, and he's got other businesses that he's more intimately involved with on a day-over-day basis. So, Adam, thank you for sharing with the business community best practices, lessons learned, so they can build on your shoulders going forward. Adam, if you wouldn't mind building some runway for us, please take it away.
Sure. Thank you for having me on the show, first of all. I've been here in Dallas since 77. I graduated from SMU in 92. And while I was at SMU, I started my first entrepreneurial endeavor. It was a auto repair shop, just a small converted gas station. I'd taken an entrepreneurship class, and they tasked us with coming up with a business plan. I liked the business plan enough to let's make a go of it. So when I was 21 years old, I started my first auto repair shop, knew nothing about cars, which I do not advise doing. I figured my mechanic would do everything that was needed. Unfortunately, the day we opened, he got a better offer from his boss, so he stayed, and I was left to find a mechanic, etc. But we grew the business. When I graduated, I really put a lot of effort into growing the marketing and specialization. We used to work on foreign automobiles like Mercedes, BMW, etc. So I grew that to 4 locations here in the North Texas area, and sold them all in 05 to a customer of mine that was a car fanatic. We owned all of our real estate, and I sold it along with real estate. So lesson number 1 is don't ever sell a business to somebody that can't afford it without paying you fully. I did payments to him. For him, and within 2 years he went bankrupt, and I lost everything. So if somebody doesn't have a check to write for your business, or if they're going to finance it, don't ever be the bank for them. Let them borrow the money somewhere else. Lesson number 2 is if you own any real estate and somebody wants to buy your business, try to keep the land and lease it back to that client, because real estate always goes up, never comes down. So if I would have held into that land, it would have quadrupled by now in value. But that was the probably the biggest lesson I've learned in my life is don't ever sell a business that somebody can't afford. After I sold my businesses in 05, my auto repair shops, I started what was a competitor, OnStar, called MyStar. That we went. OnStar was primarily a GM product, so we saw that other companies such as Ford, Infinity, Nissan, etc., didn't have a personal assistant concierge service that they gave their clients. So we came up with a branded platform that they can give their customers, and we called it MyStar. And we currently still have that company. We have Nissan, Infinity, Mitsubishi, and Subaru. Any one of those vehicles, you push a button in the car, it comes to our call center here in Dallas. So I've been very fortunate with that platform, and that also is kind of on autopilot right now. I have a whole team. We've had that company for almost 19 years. We have a whole team that handles the call center and the technology and all that. So somewhere around 2011, 2012, I was single at the time and wanted to get into hospitality. I opened up a nightclub here in Dallas that was very popular. I actually ended up meeting my wife there. I would say I built a mousetrap and caught a mouse. So we're now married, going on 10 years next year. I have a total of 6 kids, 4 from a previous marriage and 2 with her. But that really gave me my first foray into the hospitality industry. We then opened up a restaurant that was very popular, that is very popular here in Dallas, called Shell Shack, a crab restaurant chain. And now we've got 6 locations. 3 years ago, I got bought out, or at least half of it got bought out by a VC firm that's now expanding it across the country. So I'm kind of hands off of that, but they're slowly starting to grow all of our concepts around the country. I've noticed probably about 2 or 3 years ago a big decline in customer engagement at the restaurant level. So I'm hyper focused into feedback and reviews and all that stuff. The customer experience, and a lot of companies do a poor job of gauging customer experience. What does my customer think? They figure as long as they're making money that everything's fine. But You know, all it takes is something like a COVID or a recession to really teach you that, you know, giving good customer service is paramount for customers coming back. Can't always rely on new customers coming in. So we built a platform about 4 years ago called Feedback for internal consumption. We launched it at all our restaurants. It was simple. You scan a QR code anytime you need anything, and you put whatever the issue was, and it goes straight to a manager. So if your crab came out cold, or the server wasn't friendly, or whatever it is, you can let the manager know directly through our platform. And it went over so well that we decided to make a business out of it, and that's what I'm doing now 24/7. It's a company called Real Time Feedback. We have a bunch of the first big client we got was American Airlines Center here in Dallas, where the Stars and the Mavericks play. We have the QR codes throughout the facility and the suites. They put on the Jumbotron at halftime, and they get a tremendous amount of feedback. We now have over 50 arenas around the country that use our platform for guest engagement. We have fitness facilities all over the country. We're in the process right now of launching Gold's Gyms at their facilities. I also, another business I have is a spin and cycle studio here in Plano. And we built a platform for that, for the fitness, where every time you finish a workout, you get a text message asking about your experience. If it's a great experience, we send you to Google or Yelp, etc. If it's not a 5-star experience, we ask why. And that goes to the manager that can respond. So we're building all sorts of really, really cool functionality to engage customers. People are done with surveys. Every time you transact with a large company, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, etc., they want to know, how was your experience? But they're sending out a survey. And I think a lot of people nowadays are survey fatigue. They don't want to spend 10 or 15 minutes telling you about their experience, especially nobody ever responds to them. It's a black hole. They're just doing homework for you. Yeah. So our platform is really designed. Typically, if I didn't have an incredible experience, it's one or two things that kind of piss me off. And if you ask me easily how to tell you about it, hey, we saw you didn't have a 5-star experience. What part of your experience can we improve on? And then somebody responds to you, a manager goes, hey, Adam, thanks for letting us know that the weights were scattered in our free weight area. And somebody says, thanks for letting us know, we're going to get it cleaned immediately. I feel empowered to really help and give my opinion to that business and help them fix things. So that's really where our core competency is how do we get business owners to learn about issues that are in their business in real time and respond to their customers in real time. So from fitness facilities to automotive dealerships, we got hundreds of automotive dealerships on our platform. We just launched the city of Dallas at all their parks. So you go to a city of Dallas park, it's gonna have a QR code. If I see a broken sprinkler, or if I see the porta potties filled, or I see loitering, broken bottles, I can just scan a QR code. I put in whatever the issue is, I can attach a picture, and that goes straight to park management that can then respond to me and saying, hey, thanks for letting us know, we're sending somebody over to clean up take care of the issue. So really cool stuff that we're doing right now. I know I said a lot. It's
so good. You built us into the runway. Like I mentioned, you're serial entrepreneurs. So for those who are watching this episode, to understand you're talking to someone here, you're learning from someone who started fresh in college, learned a lot, and has got businesses again that runs without him, and those he's intimately involved with, and sees opportunities and says, all right, how can we create a business out of what we discovered in our own business? So that's really very brilliant. So as a general question is, what do you attribute your growth to? You've covered some of it. You're boiling that all down. What would you attribute your growth to, Adam?
Well, I mean, a lot of perseverance. I'm never satisfied. My wife's, I have ideas on my head all the time that I want to attribute. The number one reason for growth really is a good team behind you.
Yes.
You can't build anything on your own. You got to have a good team that's there not just for the paycheck, but for the mission. We make sure that everybody understands that how good it feels to launch a company and see the feedbacks come in and see them learn from what customers are saying and actually take action and do something about it. We're making a difference. It's not always just about the money. I love standing back after I built something and looking at it and saying, wow, we built that. And there was nothing before, now there's something, and people are utilizing it and getting benefit. So it's been quite miraculous. I'm a big idea guy. I see problems and I try to solve them. One of the things that I just filed a patent on is this right here, this little device right here. It's called a NFC clip, and it goes on your sun visor.
Yeah.
And it has NFC chips built into it, embedded in them. And when your dealership or when your insurance company sends you one of these, you put it on your sun visor. It'll have their logo and a QR code on there. But as soon as you put your phone up to it, it'll pull up information such as your insurance card, your owner's manual, recall information, schedule service, when my last oil change was. You can upload, it's a digital glove box, so you can upload information like your AAA card or your service warranty work or anything like that right into this device. And it's really cool. We just launched it 2 weeks ago, and we're getting a bunch of companies really interested in. Everybody wants, you know, you to have information at your fingertips, and this really.
Yes.
So we got a patent on that, and the second thing we got a patent on is this. It's what's called a smart cart. This actually bolts onto the handle of a shopping cart. Same concept. You put your phone up to it, and it'll have the store map, coupons, specials, recipes, and of course feedback if you want to send something to the manager. So we got patents on both these things, and we're actually going to the National Grocery Association next week for a conference, 2 weeks for a conference, and we're going to make a big splash with this. But I'm always thinking about how to improve the customer experience, how to make things easier for people, and I think we have 2 home runs with those 2 devices.
I agree. Wow, nice. I love your innovations. I've got about 19 patents for my time at Premier Corp. So
Oh, okay.
I appreciate another inventor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always thinking, and you know, you got to build a moat around your platform. I actually had the trigger for why I came up with this was we did a pitch to State Farm, and it wasn't really a clip. It was just a NFC sticker that you can ship your customers, and they put on their sun visor. And the girl goes that we were dealing with said, "What's stopping us from doing this ourselves?" I said, "Good point." I said, "I'll get back to you." So now we got a clip that we put a patent on. So, it takes 4 or 5 years, but I got a patent pending for it in time. So I got a long runway for us to go out there and go to market.
Well done, Adam. So as you look at your various businesses, whether it be the hospitality, restaurant type business, bars, technology businesses, what makes them unique? Why do folks choose your businesses?
So there's one or two things, one or two paths you can go. If you want to be successful, is one or two things. Either have somebody that nobody else has, which is hard to do, especially in hospitality. I mean, because as soon as you come up with a concept like a bold crab concept, what comes in a bag and all that, we've already got 7 copycats here in Texas, here in North Texas, that saw success and duplicated it. So either have something that nobody else has, such as this, or be the best. So when you're the best, you'll always do well. People will always come back to the best, and people will pay the price. I don't know. I think it was Maya Angelou that said, I don't remember exactly what you said, but I remember the way you made me feel. When you make people feel special and you give them good value and good experience, they'll always come back.
Yeah, there's this saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It's how people don't care how much you know until they feel how much you care. The
Right.
feel is the big thing.
Yeah, you just got to make people feel special.
Yeah, the memories they have, the feeling they have about the experience, the engagement, that's what makes the difference.
Yeah.
That'll draw them in. That'll create the referrals. That'll create the testimonials, on and on.
Yeah, I mean, especially in today's fast-paced world, if you can't, communicate with a company quickly and easily, because if you call any toll-free number, there's a whole IVR that they're trying to keep you from talking to a person.
Yeah.
If you try to complain to a business, oftentimes it's really hard to find, the manager, etc.
Yeah.
So if you make it super simple for you to communicate with a company and they respond quickly and efficiently, then you're turning a customer into life. One of the things I always tell customers, everybody wants the 5 stars, to go to Google and all that. And I always tell them really that the gold is in the 4 stars, because people are very quick to give you a 5-star or a 1-star, but it's a 4-star customer that says, I really, really like you, but there's one thing that if you improve, I'll be a customer for life. And those are the customers you really need to pay attention to. That's where the gold is. So when customers use our platform, they rate you 4 stars, and then we say, hey, thanks for giving us a 4-star, but there's one thing that we can improve on. Please let us know what it is, because they didn't give you a 5. and they tell you what it is, and you respond saying, hey, thanks for letting us know, Kevin. We'll take that into consideration. Let me see what I can do. And those are the customers that when they come back and they say that they see that their recommendation was actually put forward and done, those are the customers that say, wow, I just went to XYZ business. They asked me for my opinion and they actually did it. Those are the customers that will not only be customers for life, but will tell people about their experience.
And we call those raving fans. The raving
Right.
fans are so powerful for a business.
Right, exactly.
Yes. So as an employer, what have been your biggest learnings as an employer?
Hire slow, fire fast.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that, you look at them and you go, this person's, a cancer in my organization. Even if you have to, bypass protocols and they end up winning the workforce commission, we have to pay unemployment, it's worth it because we've got protocols. But sometimes if you have a bad employee and you know that's a bad employee, just get rid of them because it's bad for other employee morale. Why is that person still here? They're doing badly. I'm doing much better and we're getting the same thing. So make sure people know that, if you don't do your job, that they're going to be let go. And then secondly, costs you money to have bad employees because every customer that interacts with that person walks away knowing or thinking that you don't care about their experience.
Yeah, brand reputation is affected.
Yeah.
Which that can be tough to earn back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the kind of person, if I have a bad experience with them, and this is actually one of the things that was a driving force for us to go outside of outside of our restaurants. I was at Walmart and I had a terrible experience with an employee. And I took a picture of that employee and had my call center, my concierge company, actually contact the Walmart manager and tell them about my experience. They got me on the phone, and the manager said, "Do you have this person's name?" I go, "Not only do I have their name, I got their picture." I go, "Let me email it to you." And he said, "I wish it was sorry it took so because we played phone tag for like 4 days, getting talking to each other." And he said, "I wish there was a better way for me to communicate with you better than doing the." And I go, "You know what? I've got a platform that we have internally." And the next morning I came, and my brother, who's my CTO, I go, we got to take feedback and make it a business because there's a pain point there that people have a hard time communicating with managers and letting them know. The customers that really care and want to let a manager know about a bad employee have it's a challenge to get that information across.
And that communication, especially keeping it fresh or quick,
right,
from the dissatisfied customer or whatever, that the customer's out of 5 back to management, so management can address to nip the problem quickly. Because the other thing is, if there's a problem with a team member, it's best to give them the corrective course quickly versus a week or 2 later. And they said the customer side as well. Customers realize they really care about us and our experience. They've taken action. Yeah, that's you've
there's a new metric that's really getting a lot of eyeballs called CES, customer effort score. How easy do you make it for your customers to engage with your brand? And it's really that has a strong correlation with loyalty. The easier it is you make it for a customer to resolve issues, the more loyal they are.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'll share with you, Sewell Motors is who I go to for vehicles. Why? Mr. Sewell has set up such an organization, the people and how they are and how they interact, and they take care of things just like so quick. I'm a lifetime client for Sewell.
I mean, they're not cheap, but they do provide good service. We launched our first Infinity personal assistant in Infinity at Sewell Infinity. Carl Sewell has actually been our call center twice for us to train some of their employees on how to sound like you're smiling from ear to ear over the phone. So it's a great organization. All those people there do a great job of making sure that's customers first. And he wrote the book Customer for Life.
Yes. And they definitely got me in that category. So
yeah.
So as we talk further about employees, what qualities do you seek? You talk about, hire slow, fire fast. What qualities are you seeking in that hiring side?
Somebody that's excited to learn. I don't want to, anybody that says, "Oh, I know everything," and it's nobody knows everything. We're all on a path and a journey of education, and the ones that usually boast the most probably know the least, in my opinion. It's really hard. I mean, people nowadays, it's really hard to weed out the good employees from the bad. When I had my auto repair shop, I learned that the ones that used to go to school and come in with their diplomas and all that stuff usually knew the least out of the ones that really got their hands dirty and learned on their own. So I used to do a test with them and say, okay, if a Mercedes, for example, does XYZ symptom, what is generally the problem? And it was something that was widely known if they're coming in as a Mercedes technician and they had, you know, papers and all that, and if they didn't know the answer to these simple things that were commonplace issues, then I would never hire them. So all the technicians that I had, you know, it's been 20 years. I'm still in contact with all of them. We have once a year we go to do a Christmas lunch together. You know, these are people that, you know, we worked hand in hand with for many years. I learned how to turn wrenches. I'm still a mechanic. I still fix all my cars in my garage. My wife laughs at me. She comes out and takes pictures and posts on Instagram because I've got our brand new Cadillac. I've got a scissor lift in my garage and I'm changing the oil. She goes, why don't you just take it to oil change place like everybody else? Because I enjoy doing this and I know how to do it. Why should I let somebody else do something I know how to do?
I still change oil in my pickup truck.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's my fixing things in the garage is kind of like my meditation.
Oh, I agree fully. So, as an entrepreneur, especially serial entrepreneur, what guidance can you give around balancing life and the building of multiple businesses?
I mean, I work hard, but I also play hard, and I never have time off. I mean, it doesn't matter where I am on vacation, even on my honeymoon, I was, you know, taking phone calls and, you know, anybody that, you know, hey man, you're on vacation, relax. I go, the reason I'm able to travel so much is because I never stop. So I never have time off. I never disconnect. I mean, I do sometimes, you know, the weekends I really enjoy because usually I don't get, you know, too much, you know, too much work related things, too many work related things to do. But, you know, during the week, even if I'm on vacation with the family, you got to be able to take care of business because that's what gives you the ability to live like that. I read an entrepreneurship magazine, Entrepreneur magazine a while back, a long time ago, says that entrepreneurs are willing to work like nobody else is so they can live like nobody else is able to.
Amen.
So just got to keep on grinding it out. I mean, I don't think I'll ever retire. I enjoy the hustle too much.
I'm a sixth generation entrepreneur. My grandfathers, they worked in the family businesses. The God took them home to heaven. So they're my models around how to be. I have something beautiful to do every day.
Yeah, I mean, look at Warren Buffett. I mean, that guy's worth billions and billions of dollars, and he's still, you know, swinging away at the fences.
Yeah, Michael Dell, he's heavily engaged in his business. Does he have to be? No, he chooses to be. He loves it.
Yeah, I mean, when you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Exactly. 100% true. Very true. And last question for today would be, what are the common misconceptions out there about being an entrepreneur?
Well, most people see you after you made it. And then they go, oh, you got a great life. You got, you know, but they don't see the hustle behind the success and everything that you put on the line. When I had my auto repair shops, you know, we were successful, but every single day I would spend 2 hours going with a team of people to go put flyers out, even though we were packed. Our shop was packed, we were still going out there and advertising. And my technicians would say, why are we still advertising? We got, you know, weeks wait. I go, because it will be a day when we won't be packed. And you gotta, when you're on a wave, you gotta keep on building that wave. You never let that wave crash and then start over. So I'm a big proponent of, well, you know, back to your question is, you know, there's a lot of work and a lot of risk that people put behind their success, and the people that they see successful are only the, you know, 5 or 10% that made it. You know, most startups never get off the ground. People lose their life savings, you know, going after a dream, and it's rough. You know, there's a lot of hard work behind that.
Amen to that. Back to your piece around keeping the marketing machine going. One of the analogies of those who have ever been out in the country and had the old hand pump. Right. Like once you get prime going, then it's easy to get water out. What happens in marketing, if a person stops marketing and says, my gosh, I got enough leads for now, it's like that water goes back down to the casing, back to the water level. You have to pump like crazy to get flow again.
Right.
And so your point around keeping the marketing machine going regardless is point on, because there are cycles in business. Jim Rohn taught about that. You know, there's spring, summer, fall, winter, and there's just our cycles, and might be micro cycles as well, along with the macro cycles.
I mean, there's easy solutions when you have too much business. Just hire more people to take care of it. It's hard solutions for when you don't have enough business, because now you got to start the machine back up and like prime the pump. That takes time.
Yeah, and even if you got it, and another piece, if there's so many leads coming, maybe the Ds that you used to take on, just let them go to someone else and serve the A's, B's, and some of the C's, and pull the C's up into your B level client and your B's up to A's.
Yeah.
Like to take the 4s to 5s.
Being picky is a good thing, where
Oh,
you
yes.
choose your customers.
A key lesson I've taught customers over my 18 years of doing this is be mindful around where you bring money in from a customer basis. Every time you bring money in other words, you sell a service or product to a client, now you have a commitment to them. You have an obligation to them. So be careful where you pull your money in from and from whom in terms of business.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things that we've recently done, because, you know, the platform that we built really applies to so many industries. And we learned, we've been really working on honing in on our ICP, ideal customer profile, to make sure that because there's, you know, you can make a sale, but there's easy sales and there's hard sales, and there's easy money and hard money. It's, you know, once you have a platform that's built and it works really well in an industry, you know, go after that industry strong and own that industry, and then build a vertical around that, and then go to another vertical and build another team that handles that. But when you specialize, it really makes the selling job a lot easier, especially when you have clients that you can refer to other, when they say, okay, who do you have? And you can throw out big names that they recognize. You know, like if I'm going, we have a bunch of car dealerships. You know, if I'm telling, well, I've got American Airlines Center, they go, that's great, but how does that apply to me? They want to hear what other car dealerships do you have? So it's really important to stay in a certain vertical and be really, really good in your own silo. You can have a lot of silos, but just make sure you're really, really good in that one.
There's very significant power and focus. When you have focus going on, there's leverage with efforts typically.
Right.
So Adam, this has been an amazing conversation today. Thank you for contributing to the business community, sharing lessons learned, best practices. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Kevin.
Wishing you all the best out there in the marketplace. You guys are rocking it. So again, thank you.